On today's show, we are talking Ford Mustang. The 2024 Ford Mustang should be hitting dealers' lots any minute now. I know there have been a hold order on them. They're trying to make sure quality is right before they release them to the public. And I, for one, I know mine's been built. The modules are active on it, so I can see that where it's sitting in Ford's parking lot in Flat Rock. And yours might be too, and we're all just waiting. So Ford Media brought out some news that they broke down some stats of this thing, and I thought, why not talk about it? Kind of interesting. And first off, if you have not yet, please smash that like button for me. The algorithm just loves that. And if you haven't yet, we're at 80% have not subscribed to the channel. And we're on our goal to break 10,000 subs here in the next month or so. So if with your help, we can do that. I would greatly appreciate that. And we'll talk more Mustang. If you're a Mustang guy, we will definitely talk Mustang. Definitely, because I have one coming. So let's bring this up because you guys didn't come here to hear me talk about all that. The Ford media site has dropped some info that I thought was very interesting, and how customers are personalizing their new 2024 Ford Mustangs. And it's interesting. Manufacturers don't always like to release some of this information, and they don't like sharing with their customer base or their, we'll say their competition on, here's the breakdown of our numbers. So this was kind of interesting that they did that. So let's bring this up real quick. And the headline is customers are personalizing their all new 2024 Ford Mustangs. Now, one of the big takeaways here was this one here, electronic drift brake. Now, when the Mustang came out, I know they partnered with RTR about this, Von Gittin Jr. and all those guys, they do a lot of drift competitions and they're Ford back. So it makes sense that Ford listened to them and understands the market. And the market for this kind of car, these lightweight, high horsepower rear wheel drive vehicles is definitely drifting. People love to do this now, and there's all kinds of competitions for it. And I find that to be pretty exciting because it shows that Ford is paying attention to the market. And I think it also shows that Ford is smart enough to know, okay, the imports have been banging away at this segment for a long time, whether it be, the new Z or, the Supra, and all those cars play in this category. And they're not offering features like this. So it's something special I think Ford could offer its customers. And it says 50% take rate of the electronic drift brake. Now, that's sort of skewed just slightly, and we'll get into that. Addition of the drift brake package, the high performance package boosts a take rate of 50% among Mustang EcoBoost customers compared to the previous years. So they definitely are paying attention. And EcoBoost guy, there's a crowd that loves that. There's a generation, like my generation wants V8s on up, but the younger generations, they're cool with a smaller 4-cylinder because they know they can tune the piss out of that thing and get just as much horsepower out of it. And they have faith in that, where I'm old school and I just want high horsepower and that's it. I want to get as much as I can get from the factory. But that electronic drift brake, that is pretty rad that they're doing that. Now, one here that was a little bit surprising, transmission. Now, I picked an automatic transmission for ours. We definitely know our vehicle is short-term ownership of this. We want to experience the kind of what I think is the last true V8 pony car. So that's why I wanted that, and I didn't want to go manual transmission because I want to put a clutch in it. And the missus, she sometimes likes to ride a clutch a little bit. She can drive it, but I just didn't want to, as short-term we're going to have this vehicle, I don't want to screw this thing up. So we went automatic, and I think automatic, honestly, is pretty freaking fun because it's got the little paddle shifts on it, so you can still feel like you're participating in driving experience on the track. I think it's faster than shifting. Now, I'm not a pro driver by any means, but I think if I were to take a manual transmission versus an automatic on the track, I think my numbers would be way faster on the track with an automatic transmission. And you still have the ability with the e-brake, the whole electronic brake to go play around and drift with it if you want to. There's a whole mode. Cars programmed for this. So the days of you got to have a manual transmission to do all the fun drifting, I think Ford has fixed that. But 27% of Mustang GT and Mustang Dark Horse customers chose that manual 6-speed transmission. And obviously you see that's the Dark Horse version there. It's got that, is it like an anodized titanium or something like that? It looks really cool. It was a weird thing as a sales point when they brought this car out, but hey, maybe the color of the knob is important. And it does if you got the special paint, the special paint, it kind of reflects that paint just a little bit. But 27%, would you have thought that is higher? Leave me a comment if you thought the take rate should have been higher on Mustang for manual transmission. I think at 27%, knowing industry wide it's less than 5% now, That's actually pretty high for this car, and I, for one, I'm pretty excited by that. Now, available packages. This one hits me hard. 22% of Mustang GT customers chose the performance package. I've always said that on this channel. I want the most horsepower I can get. So the idea that I can get a performance package and it was relatively affordable considering what the price of these cars, I'm okay with that. And 26% chose the Night Pony package, which I know Ford was overwhelmed by that number. 26% doesn't sound like a lot, but I think what I thought I read it was like they thought the take rate would be less than 10% of that. And I know there's a lot of people in the forums and stuff that are like, hey, man, I wanted the Night Pony package, and there's constraints on it now. I know August, I believe for August builds, they're tapped out. They're already tapped out. They can't do any more Night Ponies because it is a painted roof, and there's some special parts to that require a little bit more to do. And I'm very lucky because I know our GT Performance with Night Pony was built. The modules are active, and I can see it sitting at the plant. So I'm very excited by that. But if you wanted that Night Pony, wow, that's a pretty high number. Once again, I think Ford was very overwhelmed with that. And speaking of colors, paint colors. Now, I've said it for a long time that paint colors are a reflection of your personality and the way you see yourself in your car. And definitely they do reflect this. And we can see here, Shadow Black has a 17% out of the EcoBoost and GT choices. Shadow Black was basically the #1 color for that. And the black, white, and silver generally are the top 3 colors in the industry. So that honestly doesn't surprise me that much. What does surprise me is Oxford White. I think the Mustang looks great in the white, but I would have thought some of the other colors, you know, the Vapor Blues or something like that, might have been a higher take rate. But it looks like a lot of people like that Oxford White. And then my beloved Rapid Red was 11% take rate on that, which I'm actually kind of surprised by that because I know they did this in the Broncos, and I want to say it was less than 10% take rate in the Broncos. Of course, Bronco brought out a plethora of new colors, so I can see why that. But I like the Rapid Red, especially on a Mustang. I think it's a throwback color, and I think it lends itself to the Mustang very well. Now, we get into the Mustang Dark Horse. Now, this little Night Pony, this little bad boy is 39% Blue Ember, which is that new color that kind of shifts in the light a little bit. It's the debut color they did. And usually the launch colors are the colors that generally do pretty well. I know with Bronco, once again, the orange they did, the kind of school bus orange, it was a big take rate. And I think because it was one of the launch colors. But 39% chose Blue Ember. 18% took Vapor Blue. I think our buddies over at Driven Wild Outdoors, I think theirs is Vapor Blue, if I remember right. I know they did order a Dark Horse. And 16% Shadow Black. Now, I would have thought there's some other blues out there and stuff. I would have thought they might have overtaken the Vapor Blue, but high take rate on that color. And I will say, with the graphics and stuff on that, I think it will look good. Of course, Shadow Black's just going to be menacing no matter what. But I'm curious if your order, did you order one of these? What color did you choose? Let me know, and let me know the package below. Which package did you choose? Because I'm very interested. Once again, we ordered a GT Performance with the Night Pony. We did the active exhaust and all that. But in the comments below, let me know, what did you order, and are these stats, are they affecting your order? I mean, are you a part of these? Are you part of these stats? So in the comments, let me know what's going on, because I'm curious about my fellow Mustang reservation orders, whatever you want to call it. So there you go. Let me know. So whether it be 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, or these badass Mustangs I'm about to drive, like, hey Ford, call me up. This has been your All Terrain Nation. I'm your host, David Boyd, and we're out. Peace, everybody. Love y'all.